Hello Army! Taehyung and Jungkook of BTS have just released a behind-the-scenes clip from the making of the Hooligan MV. And this will surprise you. Even the camera crew was moved to tears seeing how romantic and professional Taehyung and Jungkook were during the filming process. The love between Taehyung and Jungkook is known all over the world. However, many haters still can't accept it. I just want to share their love story. For those who don't like them or feel the urge to hate, please try to respect Taehyung. Taehyung and Jungkook mean everything to me. Seeing them kiss, hug and show affection on set makes me incredibly happy. I hope you can feel the same way too. Please don't spread hate. Watch the rest of this video and don't miss out. Before we begin, make sure you're ready to enjoy this moment. Welcome to Taikook Files. Amid the bustling atmosphere of the Hooligan MV set, filled with artificial smoke and neon lights, everyone's attention seemed drawn to the natural chemistry between Taehyung and Jungkook. Despite the song's fierce and energetic concept, the atmosphere around them felt warm and full of affection. Taehyung was seen sitting in a corner of the set, letting the makeup artist fix small details on his face. Yet his eyes never left Jungkook. Jungkook, who had just finished a solo scene, immediately approached Taehyung without caring about the sweat on his forehead and neck. As the distance between them closed, Jungkook naturally placed his hand on Taehyung's shoulder, giving a small massage that made Taehyung briefly close his eyes. The interaction was smooth and spontaneous, showing how used they were to comforting each other in the middle of their busy schedule. One of the camera staff who was tidying cables nearby smiled softly at the sight. For him, watching Taehyung and Jungkook interact was a form of entertainment that helped ease the fatigue after hours of working under intense filming lights. "They really have their own world," whispered a stylist to a camera assistant, who nodded in agreement. They could only watch, captivated by how romantically Taehyung looked at Jungkook, while the cameraman enthusiastically talked about his previous dance scene. When lunchtime arrived, Taehyung specifically brought a bottle of water for Jungkook even before the younger man asked. Small gestures like this were often captured by the cameras during breaks, making the staff feel like they were watching scenes from a romantic movie. A senior cameraman who often works with BTS shared his thoughts with a colleague beside him. "I've seen many artist couples over the years, but the sincerity between Taehyung and Jungkook is truly different. It's very comforting to watch." Taehyung was then seen gently wiping dust off Jungkook's cheek with his thumb, a gesture that felt deeply intimate yet completely natural. Jungkook stayed still, receiving the attention with a sweet smile he rarely shows publicly in that way. The staff's reactions on set were very positive. They didn't feel disturbed. Instead, they felt that the couple's positive energy spread throughout the entire team. The filming atmosphere, usually tense due to tight schedules, became much more relaxed and enjoyable because of their presence. "Seeing them happy like that makes our workload feel lighter," said one production team member while watching Taehyung and Jungkook laugh together in front of the monitor. They seemed to be complimenting each other's performances in the clip that had just been recorded. Even when the weather on set turned very cold due to strong winds, Taehyung didn't hesitate to give his jacket to cover Jungkook's back. He made sure Jungkook stayed warm, even though he himself was only wearing a thin shirt as part of his stage costume. Jungkook returned the kindness by wrapping his arms tightly around Taehyung's waist, pulling him closer so they could share warmth in the chilly night air. The sight made several female staff members hold their breath, deeply touched by their romance. "This couple truly defines taking care of each other," commented a photographer who accidentally captured the moment. He felt lucky to witness the softer side of the two global stars behind the scenes. Every time the director shouted "cut," Taehyung and Jungkook almost always ended up in the same corner. Whether sitting quietly side by side or whispering to each other, their presence seemed to be each other's main source of energy to get through the exhausting shoot. One lighting crew member even joked that he didn't need to set the lights too bright when they were around because their aura of happiness was already enough to light up the set. The joke was met with laughter from other staff who felt the same way about their closeness. The warmth of their love behind the Hooligan MV became a beautiful secret shared by the entire crew that day. No pressure, no drama. Just two souls loving each other and offering unconditional support. As filming neared its end, Taehyung gave Jungkook a short but tight hug as a sign of gratitude for his hard work. Jungkook returned it with a gentle pat on Taehyung's back, a silent promise that they would always be there for each other on any stage. In the end, the Hooligan MV shoot wrapped up successfully, leaving sweet memories for the staff about the romantic pair. They went home with warm hearts, carrying stories of how beautiful Taehyung and Jungkook's love looked behind the dazzling cameras. After the shoot ended, the atmosphere on set gradually became quieter. However, Taehyung and Jungkook were still seen chatting near the stage props being dismantled. Taehyung gently fixed Jungkook's wind-messed hair, while Jungkook held Taehyung's wrist, his thumb softly stroking it as if reluctant to let go of the peaceful moment after a long day's work. Some crew members still busy packing audio equipment occasionally glanced at them with restrained smiles. It felt like they were watching the epilogue of a romantic drama with a happy ending. A field coordinator whispered to a colleague that seeing them together was the most pleasant part after nearly 20 hours of exhausting filming. Not long after, Jungkook took out his phone and invited Taehyung to take a selfie together with the dimming set as the background. Taehyung playfully rested his head on Jungkook's shoulder, creating a pose that felt very intimate and genuine. A documentation staff member who witnessed it felt deeply touched, believing that the love they radiated was far stronger than the bright lights on set. The warmth continued into the catering area behind the set, where Taehyung patiently fed Jungkook pieces of fruit, because Jungkook's hands were still full of props he had to hold. This prompted a passing music producer to comment that their harmony was the reason BTS performances always felt so sincere and emotional. Production assistants also gave praise. They noted how Taehyung and Jungkook always made sure each other had eaten and drunk enough before resting. "Maybe this is the secret to why they never really look tired," said an electrical technician while rolling cables. He noticed Jungkook laughing out loud when Taehyung whispered something in his ear. However, behind all this warmth, there are still a few people who choose to spread hate because they cannot accept this closeness. It is truly unfortunate that such a pure love story must be criticized with baseless harsh words. It's time for everyone to learn to respect others' privacy and life choices, especially for Taehyung and Jungkook, who have given so much inspiration to the world. Appreciating their happiness isn't about having to agree, it's about having the maturity not to judge. Leave your positive comments here. The best comment will be pinned as a form of appreciation for their love. Thank you to everyone who continues to support this channel. May God repay all your kindness. This video reflects my personal opinions and interpretation, and is made for entertainment purposes only.